Welcome to this episode of Boxlight Mimio's Seeing is Believing series. In this episode, we'll be discussing the importance of integration. Let's get started. Are you currently using a variety of interactive classroom technology, all from different manufacturers? If so, you're not alone. There are a lot of downsides to using interactive classroom technology from multiple manufacturers that don't necessarily work together seamlessly. Some of the drawbacks are there are multiple software applications to learn and administer. You end up with more unused dust collecting equipment. There's a much greater complexity for support and warranty work. You have lower adoption rates and utilization amongst your staff. You have less impact on student outcomes, much more complexity and confusion, and finally, higher professional development and training costs. Well, say no more. Introducing the Integrated Interactive Classroom Solution from Boxlight Mimio. At Boxlight Mimio, we manufacture the most comprehensive line of interactive classroom technology today. We have audio solutions, STEM data logging solutions, document cameras, interactive panels, interactive slates, and projectors. Now, what does all of that mean? Having an integrated solution presents a great deal of upside. Of course, I now only have one software application to learn and administer. I don't have any more unused dust collecting equipment sitting on my shelves. There's less complexity for software and warranty support. I have higher adoption rates and utilization amongst my staff. There's a greater impact on student outcomes, far less complexity and confusion, and finally, lower professional development and training costs. But then, seeing is believing. So what do you get when you combine a MimioView document camera, our lab disk data logger, our award-winning Mimio Studio software, and our Mimio mobile application all in one package? I'll tell you, you get one great experiment. Let's take a look at how this is going to work. So in this experiment, we're going to be learning about free-falling objects in an effort to prove Newton's second law. We're going to use several pieces of our software and hardware to accomplish this. The first thing we need to do is go on ahead and launch our MimioView document camera. You'll notice I can launch the camera from right up here at the software. There's no need for me to walk over to a piece of hardware in order to begin this. We'll separate our screen over to one side, and then we'll bring up our GlobiLab data logging software and put that over on the other side of the screen. Now that we have both of these windows up, we're going to pop up one more application from the Mimio Studio software, and that's our screen recorder. Now, using the Mimio Studio screen recorder, we'll be able to pick up both the physical experiment through the document camera, as well as our data points as they're logged on the screen. And a little bit later in this segment, we're then going to share our experiment through the Mimio mobile software. Let's do it. All right, so here we are with our MimioView document camera. You can see our dual segment LED lighting, and of course the recording head facing our experiment space. And here we have our lab disk GenSci data logger. For this experiment, we'll be using our distance sensor located on the back of the lab disk, and of course, a ping pong ball. So let's go on ahead and start our screen recorder, and then we'll conduct our experiment. So now what we're doing is recording both the document camera image and the GlobiLab software as we record the data from the lab disk. So we'll take our lab disk and our ping pong ball, start the data recording, and drop it. You'll notice now what we've captured on our screen is both the video of the actual experiment and the data points themselves. Let's go back and analyze our data now. So now we've conducted and recorded our experiment. Let's play it back to see what we've got. I'm going to press the play button on the Mimio Studio recorder, and here you can see us conduct our experiment.
Ping pong ball, start the data recording, and drop it.
So now, using the same computer and the same piece of software, we've got our physical experiment and the data points we've recorded. Now let's go one step further and utilize our Mimeo mobile software to share and collaborate with this data that we've just captured. So what I'd like to do now is screen clip our data right off the screen and into the notebook software. Now, using one button, we'll send this experiment out to all of our students who are connected to this session. Here you can see we have 2 students connected who can then interact using their device right from their seat. Now that we've collaborated, let's go one step beyond this and do a little assessment using the same system. You'll notice I don't need to transition over to anything differently. We'll close our Collaborate screen, move along to our next slide, and now we can begin with an assessment question. You'll notice that question has now appeared right on the device, and every student's device that's connected. Once the student responds to the question, we can then stop our polling, and the class's response will appear right on the screen in the graph you see here. That's it. Now you've seen a very simple science experiment conducted with multiple pieces of equipment, all through the same piece of software. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and come back for more.